Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is good to see you all out there today, or sort of see you, or maybe be seen by you today. It is the fabulous Friday going into the holiday weekend, so I appreciate you taking the time to join us today. For those of you who are new to viewing, this is Friday Friends. We air every Friday at 9 a.m. here on the RI Elder Info Facebook and YouTube pages. I am Deb Burton, the founder and creator of RI Elder Info, Rhode Island's most comprehensive resource for seniors, caregivers, and professionals here in Rhode Island. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so every bit of finance that gets donated to us goes back out to the community to help people remain independent as they age. And what we do would not be possible without our sponsors. So big shout out going to Oak Street Health. They have 3 locations here in Rhode Island. Actually, let me take that back. They have 4 locations here in Rhode Island, one in Warwick over by the Christmas tree shop, one in Providence by the old St. Joe's building, another off Branch Avenue, and the 4th is in Woonsocket. Their community rooms are now back open to the public post-COVID. Yay! And they are going to have activities that are available for everyone in the community, whether you are a current user of Oak Street Health or not. They're open to everybody, and they even have computer resources there too, should you need to access information online. We also have Tamarisk Assisted Living, great little assisted living that really takes care of people like family in a home-like environment over in Warwick. It's right over by the Lowe's, Rhode Island Mall, Warwick Mall location. So you want to give Sue a call over there. She is wonderful, good friend of mine. We also have United Health. United Health is a great insurance company here that provides wonderful resources for our Medicare beneficiaries. What I do here would not be possible without D&B Media. They are running the show in the background for me right now, so I don't have to worry about that. And if you've taken a look at rielderinfo.com, you have looked at rielderinfo.com, right? That is the creation or design work, I should say, of England Studio. So we're absolutely grateful for all of our sponsors, all of our individual donors. If you'd like to support what we're doing, you can go right on rielderinfo.com and hit the donate button. Every penny counts. So we're always happy to give back to the community. Friday Friends is our way of supporting other organizations that are doing great stuff that you need to know about. And so for this week, there is a brand new program that launched only a few months ago that is really taking off and is really important, and it has a really cool name. So I would like to welcome Andrew and Maggie from Be Kind RI.
Hi,
Deb.
Morning, Deb. Thank you so much for having us this morning. Big shout out to Rhode Island Eldersinformation.com and to all of the listeners on the phone today. We're so grateful to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yes. So Andrew and Maggie, what is Be Kind RI? Share with our viewers what it is and what it does and why.
So I actually have a slide deck here, I think, that kind of works through it. I can share my screen right now. We'll put it up there. And we can kind of dive into what it is. We're very excited to share with you guys. It's Be Kind RI is a partnership between FSRI, the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, and Age Friendly Rhode Island. And we're in partnership with Nesterly, and we're all key contributors in this, in bringing the service here to Rhode Island. Nesterly actually is a tech developer that launched a service similar to this up in Boston.
Awesome.
And Be Kind RI is really, it's a cool system. It's a way to easily have volunteers connect with their neighbors in need. So we like to say it's kindness made easy. So think about things that you might need support from And, you know, different times in our lives, we all need support. We all need a helping hand. So sometimes you're able to give a helping hand and be a volunteer, and sometimes you need a extra help, and you're able to ask for that help. And that's really what Be Kind allows. It allows us to use technology to do something different. Over the past year, we've been socially isolated, and we've used technology to, you know, to bridge the gap so that we could remain socially isolated. BeKindRI.org is really cool because we're using technology to connect people in person again. And how cool to see people's smiles again. So, Andrew, do you want to jump in and talk a little bit more about Be Kind RI?
Yeah, so that, as I said earlier, it's a necessarily built out this technology, and what it does is simply and efficiently connects volunteers with on-demand service projects. So someone would request a volunteer's help for a project or for a service, and the system then, we have a volunteer base of about 400 people. The system will then send a text out to all people who meet the criteria of that request. Either they're in the same area as the requester, they've signed up to volunteer for that type of service, they speak the same language as a requester, and a text will go out to all volunteers who meet that criteria, and then we will match a requester with a volunteer. Right now, all we're doing though is food pantry delivery and grocery store delivery for the first year.
So when people need help,
so if you go,
so when people need help, they need help, say, getting groceries at the grocery store or sometimes the food pantry. How does it work? Where would, say I'm an elder at home and I'm having trouble, say, getting down my front stairs, or maybe I just need groceries and, you know, carrying that gallon of milk is just too much for me. Well, how do I reach out to Be Kind RI?
Well, here, we have a slide. I can tell you that. It's pretty straightforward. Here, I'm just, yeah. Oh, no. Here's a step-by-step by how it works out, though. So requesters would visit www.bekindri.org, and they can fill out a form.
Straightforward. You're going to go, yeah.
Yeah, Maggie, why don't you go? Sorry.
So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So requesters go to www.bekindri.org, and they go to the volunteer where they say request help, request a volunteer. And once you do that, and it takes about a minute to put in your information, kind of whether you want food from a food pantry or whether you want someone to do grocery shopping for you, and then you hit submit, and then you wait. And usually the requests are picked up, within, 24, 48 hours, and you have, and somebody will contact you and say, hey, I would like to pick stuff up from the food pantry, or I would like to pick stuff up from the grocery store for you. What do you need? Do you have any allergies? Questions like that. And then the person will go and do that. And I think it's a great service because it's, the volunteers are generally, as Andrew said, people who are your neighbors. So let's just say you were volunteering for this service. A lot of people have some time on their hands and they could volunteer for this service. You could say, I'd like to help a neighbor in need within five blocks, 1 mile, 2 miles, 5 miles from my house. You choose the geography that you want to help people in. So when we're connecting volunteers with their neighbors in need, a lot of times, people are connecting who are real neighbors. So it's a new way to also meet your neighbors to provide help or to get help when needed. And as Andrew said, we're really right now piloting this around food and food security. We have, and a lot of food access issues. 1 in 4 Rhode Islanders have food access issues. So we're really grateful to work with the Rhode Island Community Food Bank on this. They are just fantastic partners, and they've aligned 36 food pantries across the state to help supply food to people in need. About 88% of the requests that we've gotten so far have been from food pantries. We're really grateful Our other partner is Age Friendly Rhode Island, and we're grateful for Age Friendly and also for Rhode Island Elders for kind of getting out the word about this program so people can either volunteer or get help when they need it. And again, right now, this is really for food access, but later this year, we want to expand this service because we could really have volunteering for anything. And we've heard from the senior community loud and clear that there's a strong interest come winter in exploring snow shoveling. So we will make sure that we move forward and try to figure out a way to get that done through this service as well, because how cool would that be? But right now, as I said, just food access. And let's just say that, sometimes people have access to the internet and they can put in their request right away. But sometimes that's a little bit more difficult, or sometimes you have questions. Well, we have a live social worker available to answer telephone calls. And she has expertise in senior services, and she is just fantastic. So you can call and speak with her directly. If she's not there, just leave a message and she'll call you back within a day or two, and she'll help you get connected to this service. And you can request this service however many times you need. It's not just a one-shot deal. And Andrew, do you want to talk about who's eligible for the service?
Yeah, we can go in. It's anyone. Literally anyone is eligible for this free service. It doesn't just have to be seniors, or you don't have to meet any criteria. We do ask some screening questions when you fill out the request form, such as your household income, what languages you speak, ethnicity. But that's just for tracking purposes for the food banks and the pantries, and for us, that there's no eligibility requirements for this program.
So I can reach out and I can be the one who is saying, I really need a volunteer to run to the market for me. Mm-hmm. So this could work for even, say, new moms. It could work for individuals who just came home from surgery. Anything like that.
Yeah, that's a nice part of it, is that it's open to anyone. And what you mentioned, new moms, we're hoping to kind of expand one of our program or service offerings to be a new mom service where we can do diaper pickup and pick up formula and stuff like that. But yeah, it's open to anyone and everyone who needs it. So
when someone has to go to the grocery store, say I need someone to run to Stop and Shop, how does the payment system work?
So that's between how the volunteer and the requester will connect you. This platform connects them via text, and they would then figure out the payment. So we encourage payment to be made before the volunteer goes to the grocery store. We also would be hesitant to have the requester give money to the volunteer, or give their card or SNAP or EBT cards to the volunteer. Maybe you call the grocery store and purchase the items beforehand. Mm-hmm. You purchase them online through the grocery store's website, or you work something else out with the volunteer, whatever you guys are comfortable with. But that's between the volunteer and requester.
Okay. And for the volunteers, what kind of vetting do they go through?
So once you sign up on the BeKindRI.org website, again, we don't ask for a ton of info, just name, some basic screening questions for volunteers, but we do have a background checking system built into the platform. So they're background checked and vetted through Checker. That's CHECKR. And they're an online background checking system. And the volunteer, when you sign up to volunteer, you won't get a text right away, but you will get a text once you have been vetted through the system and okay to go.
Okay. So you guys, do you cover the whole state, or is it limited to only the metro area?
We are statewide, and we launched in March, late March, early April. And what we're really excited about is that we've seen volunteers. We have about 400 plus volunteers already signed up, and they are all over the place. It's not just in the urban core. We're seeing volunteers down in Newport. There's volunteers out in the western parts of the state, up in the northern part of the state. We are everywhere.
So I think that's really important. And if you think sort of, I hate the term, but outside the box, we have a lot of folks who maybe for whatever medical reason, they go into some nursing home rehab and then they get discharged home. Well, if you've been out of your house for, 3, 4, 5 weeks while you get strong enough to come home, let me tell you, you don't want to have the milk that's in your refrigerator. So is it possible for other people to sign up someone? So if I'm a discharge planner at a hospital or a discharge planner at a nursing home or assisted living, and I'm sending somebody home, is it possible for me to send a request for assistance ahead of time to say, Mrs. Smith is going to need a volunteer from Be Kind RI to get her some groceries when she gets home on Thursday? Is that possible?
Yes, of course. Actually, that's what we've seen, a lot of requests like that. People can sign up their grandparents. People can sign up a family member that needs it. You could do that. Either you enter on the form, you sign someone else up on the website, www.bekindri.org, or you can call us. We have a phone number, 877-958-8785, and you can put in a request for someone else in need, either a family member or if you're running a program or for someone that is going to need this food pantry delivery.
Okay, so that 877-958-8785 would be really good for our folks who maybe are not as tech savvy as others.
Right, and we have a licensed social worker who answers that phone.
That's right.
If not, I think we're losing Maggie.
That's it.
So if she'll answer the phone. If not, you leave a voicemail, she'll call you back, and she'll then enter the request for you over the phone and pair you with a volunteer.
That's amazing. And so as this program grows, I know Maggie had mentioned snow shoveling, which is huge, capital letters huge when that happens. What other areas are you hoping to be able to expand the volunteer service to in the future?
Well, we're still kind of brainstorming, seeing what people's needs are, but we're definitely looking at new mom services, as I mentioned earlier, like diaper delivery, formula delivery, helping new moms out so they don't have to go run out with their newborn child at home. Also, she says snow shoveling, library book delivery. We're thinking about pharmacy pickup. So there's a lot of things that are kind of bouncing around, and we're open to if the community sees a need and that needs to be met, let us know, and we'll consider adding it to the platform.
Yeah,
that's
Deb, if
amazing.
there are things that Rhode Island Elder thinks that would be great for your community, if people call in to you, let you know, hey, we would like to see this explored, we'll take a look at it. We want to make sure that this service is something that makes sense for all Rhode Islanders. And as Andrew said, the new parents thing is really the next big thing that we're doing. And I think it's great really for intergenerational support, whether sometimes you have in Rhode Island grandparents raising grandchildren. Sometimes you have grandparents who want to provide a little extra support for either their grandchildren or for other people, right? Like sometimes you have a little extra time and you might want to volunteer to lend a hand to someone, and that's super nice. And I think those types of connections are really what we're looking to do to kind of promote community. We need to connect Rhode Islanders again. We need to connect and be positive. This is the strength of Rhode Island. This is the infrastructure of Rhode Island. It's Rhode Islanders there for one another. And that's what we need. That's what we need. Right now, I'm in a car. I'm taking my mom to an eye doctor appointment. She hasn't been to the eye doctor for a really long time because of COVID. Now she's going for an eye doctor appointment. Who knows? Maybe this is something that we'll do in the future, right? If people need that kind of thing, maybe we can expand in this way too. So there's so many things that we see this technology as being able to benefit Rhode Islanders and Rhode Islanders of all ages. And really those intergenerational connections are what we want to see, because I think those are going to be some of the most meaningful that we can make.
And these volunteers, they're going to the grocery store for people. They're not picking them up and taking them to the grocery store, correct?
That's correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So, for example, I got a text from Be Kind, and let me tell you how it works, because as a volunteer, I'm happy to share that because I think it's interesting. So I got a text from Be Kind, and it said that there's someone in my neighborhood who needs a little extra help. Well, the first time I got the text, I couldn't do it. My daughter had an issue, and I couldn't take the request, so I passed. And I'm being honest with you, I passed. And I didn't feel any guilt about passing, because I know that we have over 400 volunteers statewide who are queued up to help, and that it just went on to the next person on the list. People are getting help through this program. But the second time I got a text, I was able to do it. So I got a text from someone in the next town over. It was an older woman with some medical issues, and she just needed help with some grocery delivery. So I called her up and I asked her what she wanted, and she said, well, I have a list. And she had a very specific list. She had a grocery store where she wanted me to go. She had a list. She had specific products. Buy this mayonnaise, not that mayonnaise. And and I went and I actually went with my mom. We went grocery shopping together. It was something that was really fun for the two of us to do. And then, we got everything bagged up and we brought it to this lady's house and we dropped it off, and she was very happy. Because she came to the door. She had some mobility issues, and we dropped off the groceries for her. It was just, she said, what she did, you could see it. She said it, she felt, I don't know her exact words, but it's something, she had felt alone, right? She had felt like, I'm all alone. No one knows me. No one cares. I'm all by myself. There's no one to give me a hand, and this stuff is tough. And then, a volunteer, it could be me, it could be anybody, comes to the door and has groceries and says, hey, we got you. I've got you. I'm another Rhode Islander, very close to you, your neighbor, and I've got you. And you know what? I was a new mom once. I have a mother, right? Sometime I will need help, and I'll be asking for this community's help as well. And you'll have me. And that's what's great. That's the power of Rhode Island, that we've got each other. This is kindness made easy. This is connection. This is how we need to be. COVID taught us one thing, and that is the power of connection, the power of a smile, the power that we get in being together and helping one another through some of the toughest times. And I think we need to do that now more than ever.
Absolutely true. And I think, one of the things that you said in the very beginning, that 1 in 4 Rhode Islanders is food insecure. So that's 25% of our state goes hungry.
That's right. And 250,000 Rhode Islanders are going hungry. And Deb, what we expect is, we know that the protections, the eviction moratorium is going to end very soon. And we know that a lot of people, unfortunately have gotten a little behind in their mortgage payments or their rents. And they may be facing some very significant housing issues over the summer and into the fall. And so when you look at the two biggest items in your budget, in your family's budget, they're housing and food. So through this program, we hope to help people through food and see what we can do to help people be stable and have something to eat. Because we can. And because the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, they are just awesome. Can you imagine? 36 food pantries across the state said, I'm in. I want to help Rhode Islanders. I want to make this happen. I want to sign up for this program. And when people call the Rhode Island Community Food Bank and the food pantries across the state, guess what? If they need a delivery service, they can contact Be Kind and have someone deliver from them to you too. So it can work that way too. So
that's
anybody,
awesome.
If you're a nurse out there, if you're a younger person with a senior parent who needs a little extra support, if you are a doctor, if you are another care provider, if you're a nonprofit, if you're somebody in the housing industry and you're hearing this and you're thinking, gosh, I know somebody who needs food support. All you got to do is you can call that number that's on the screen, right? Or you could go to www.bekindri.org. That's www.bekindri.org. Or you can call 877-958-8785. 877-958-8785. And someone's going to help you. Your neighbors are going to help you because we care about each other. And again, this is the strength of Rhode Island.
Absolutely. So a question has come in, actually two one was a comment that you had mentioned transportation. That's something that people are definitely going to need. Absolutely.
Okay.
Capital letters.
Good.
They need it now. I can tell you that. And then a question came in. Do you work with Project Hands Up? It's a great program, but people can't always drive there to pick up the groceries. And I don't know if that's a formal food pantry.
Yeah, we are willing to work with anybody, right?
Okay.
So if Project Hands Up, if somebody's calling Project Hands Up and saying I need food, but they're not, but they're not able to get to Project Hands Up to get that food, guess what you do? You call, you put your information in to Be Kind, and you ask them to go and do the pickup from Hands Up. That's how you do it. Or Hands Up can call and organize a volunteer to do that. Either way. It works.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
That's awesome. And are you connected with the case management agencies around the state so that the case managers know that this is an option? Because sometimes people have to wait for home and community-based services, that kind of thing. And at least this way, they'll know that their clients can at least have food.
I have to tell you, we've been advertising this everywhere. We've been on Rhode Island Public Radio. We've talked with all of the providers across the state, and we want to continue to talk to people. So whoever asked this question, if you want us to help, send you some information about this program, we have a lot of marketing materials. You want to help us get the word out, please do that, because we have such ability to help people in Rhode Island in need. And we want more people to sign up for this because it's free, right? Who's benefiting from this program? I tell you, Family Service of Rhode Island, the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, and Age Friendly Rhode Island. We are the investors in this program. We've brought this technology to Rhode Island. Now we have it. Let's use it. Let's get tons of people signed up if they need this kind of help, and let's start helping each other.
So I love your program, and I'm really glad that we were able to get you guys on today. Are you a nonprofit?
Family Service of Rhode Island is a nonprofit. Age Friendly Rhode Island is a nonprofit, and the Rhode Island Community Food Bank is a nonprofit. And together we've started this program, Be Kind RI. And so we're all nonprofits that are running this. Yes.
So if someone wanted to assist, can they make financial donations to Be Kind RI, or is it really the in-person volunteers that you need? What would help Be Kind RI grow and thrive so that it is successful even going into the future?
I'm going to have Andrew take this one because he has some good answers for this.
Yeah, so we are looking for volunteers always. We do have a nice volunteer base now. We're also looking for, if you know someone who's in need, to put in a request on their behalf. But we also have ours taking donations in order to kind of keep this program running beyond this 1 year period. If it's successful, we should be able to, but we're always looking for financial support. And to support, to give to Be Kind RI, all you have to do is text Be Kind RI, BEKINDRI to 44321. So that's text Be Kind RI to 44321, and you can make a donation through that. We also have a donation page that I'll share. The link is in our chat, Deb.
Okay.
And people can visit that Give Lively page and make a donation there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So there is another executive director who happens to be watching, Denise Lowell from Just Ask, Aphasia Stroke Knowledge, says that her program has members that would be able to volunteer as well as people who would need the services.
Excellent.
Just Ask is a great program, by the way.
Thanks, Just Ask. We would love to have you. Let's partner.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
yeah, and love to, and we're ready to take on to request too. We have volunteers ready to roll statewide. So yeah, just visit the website and put some requests in.
Awesome.
And I would let I do want to just let people know on the phone, if you are looking for groceries like this afternoon, this may not be the right service for you because volunteers do have a little time to accept the request. We do the background checks and then we get it. So it could be like 48 hours, something like that, a few days before you're going to get your groceries. So if you have an issue with food now, this may not be the program for you. But if you're looking to do something kind of fairly regularly and you can wait a couple of days, you'll get a volunteer who will pick up and bring food to you pretty quickly. And that's a nice thing.
And here's a question that I know for a lot of things came up, when you order from, I don't know, maybe not so much Amazon, but Grubhub and Instacart and some of these other programs. When you have a volunteer from Be Kind, should you tip them? And if so, what is the appropriate amount to tip?
Please do not tip them. These are volunteers. Volunteers means people have volunteered to do something because it's a good thing to do. You do not need to tip them. You should not tip them. This is not a service. This is not somebody who's getting paid to do this. This is somebody who's doing something because it's a nice thing to do. And let me say something else. To anybody out there who's willing to volunteer for this program, I'm going to let you know a little secret. You, as a volunteer, are going to get more out of this program than the person who's receiving the groceries or whatever. We know that volunteering, science tells.
Oh, and we lost her volume.
Yeah, I think she just dropped out there.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. So volunteering makes us feel happy. And one of our volunteers said that.
And she broke up again.
Yeah, so I think what she was going to talk about is how this volunteer program, it's kind of, and we've spoken to those volunteers who are trying to get stories and compile them together, but that it does bring something out that's nice in you and makes you feel good. We actually had one particular volunteer who has made several deliveries to the same woman in his neighborhood. He had never met her. She lived a couple houses down, but they matched, and now the relationship has come offline, off Be Kind, and he does grocery store pickups for her regularly now. And she's a senior in his neighborhood, and they've become friends and stuff. She'll text him, and he goes, "Oh, I can run to the grocery store for you." So that's kind of what we want. We want to build that sense of community and kindness.
That's it. We're all in this together. And just, I wanted to reiterate that your volunteers are all background checked.
Correct.
So it's not just anybody from anywhere could sign up to be a volunteer, that they actually are background checked. Yeah, they are screened to make sure that they're safe. So this is an awesome program. And Andrew, can you just share again what's the website or the phone number that people need to call?
Yep. So they can visit www.bekindri.org. It's a very simple layout in there. There's a button. You can either click the button to get help or to volunteer, and then you're taken to a form, and then you fill out the form. Or you can call us at 877-958-8785. That's 877-958-8785.
Andrew, thank you so much for coming on today. I think this is one of those really important programs. Oh, Maggie's coming back just in time for me to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was
Thank
saying,
you. I just wanted
really
to say you will be happy by doing this. You will be happy by volunteering for this program. You will get something. And so this program is as much about it. This real program is really about connections and feeling good. So be kind to feel good.
Maggie's 100% right, because when you volunteer and you give back, you receive so much more in return. So I'm really glad that you guys were able to come on and share Be Kind, because, like Stephanie had said, this is an amazing program. And hopefully the hospital and nursing home discharge planners know about the program, as it's going to be really, really helpful to folks who are going home. Thank you so much for putting this together.
Thank you, Devin. Thanks for the time this morning.
Yes, absolutely.
And thanks to everybody who was listening.
Yes,
really
thank you. This has been great. So everybody, if you know someone in need, you can direct them to Be Kind. They can go online, they can do the phone call, whatever works. And then, of course, it's an opportunity for you to give back if you have the ability to volunteer. I mean, you're going to the grocery store for yourself anyway, so you could always just pick something up for someone else in your neighborhood that's in need. So I think it's a great program. It has just launched this year. I think it's absolutely amazing. And I can tell you, I volunteer doing this every Friday. There's so much that you receive back when you volunteer. It's awesome. So I thank you all for joining me today. I am really looking forward to my guest next week. We'll be talking about rent relief Rhode Island because we know that homelessness is a big issue. But don't forget, set it in your calendars, make a reminder, on August 5th, there will be Calling All Veterans virtual conference. It is for veterans, military members, and their families. It's going to be airing right here on Facebook as well as on YouTube. We have some amazing sponsors. Big shout out to Oak Street Health on that one, and Cross Country Mortgage, Morgan Health Center, the Care Concierge, Independent Benefit Solutions. We've got a great lineup of speakers. We have our entire Washington delegation who will be providing some remarks. We have information regarding if an individual needs to go into a nursing home and they can't get into Bristol yet. Tons of information is going to be shared on August 5th. So I really hope you all join me that day. And I will see you again next week. In the meantime, have a wonderful and safe 4th of July. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
If you like this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.